All right, this is John Brad from RunMichigan.com. I'm talking to Kevin Hanson, who was out at the Chicago Marathon this past weekend. How many runners did you have out there running?
Well, 2.5. Actually, Dot on the women's side and Drew on the men's side, and then Mike Morgan did some pacing responsibilities for the race.
Okay, and I know Dot finished real well. She finished a 9th overall and 2nd American. So.
Correct, 9th overall, 2nd American, and ran real solid. I mean, it was a short segment for her. It was kind of one of those. We didn't decide for sure that we were going to run a fall marathon until crim time. So it was kind of a, hey, I'm pretty fit here, let's go see what I can do kind of thing. So, and she was 2:32 and change and ran real solid. I mean, honestly, it's her 2nd fastest marathon, so we did a nice job.
How did the race go out for her?
She ran almost dead even. She really did. So she had there was another female that was with her quite a bit. A couple, and then there was probably a half a dozen that came back throughout the course of the race. But she was almost dead even splits. And
then how about on the men's side then?
On the men's side, Drew was 4th American, Drew. He's a tad bit, he'd have been real pleased if he was about a minute faster. He was 2:15 and change. He had run just under 2:15 at the trials, and so he was looking for a PR, and he fell probably about 30 seconds short of where he wanted to, of that goal. But he ran a solid race. He faded a little bit over the last 5K. He kind of lost the person that was running with him that ended up being the 3rd American or 2nd American. But he ran a solid race and beat up a lot of people that were considered to be supposed to be in front of him in the race. So he ran solid.
Now, with those good conditions out there, do you think some people went out a little too fast then? Or?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. It's something we actually talk about a lot is, if you've trained for 2:15, for example, in the marathon, you've trained for 2:15, and then you get out there and somebody says, it's a fast day, maybe I'm going to try for 2:13. That still doesn't change what you've done in the previous 3 months. You train for a certain pace, and the bottom line is it might be easier to hit that pace, but you're really not usually capable of running much faster than what you've trained for.
Yeah. I'm sure it was interesting out there to see they set a new course record out there too. I know.
Yeah, killed the old course record. I mean, just killed the old course record, and they ran negative to do it as well. They really did. They came back. They went out in 102.45 and came back in 101.30 or something like that, or 40, I think. So, but they were a full minute faster the second half of the race.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a little crazy out there to see people going that fast.
And they, and early the rabbits. The rabbits were on the men's leaders were actually slow compared to what they wanted. They wanted to go through in 102.15, and they still hit the eventual goal of what they wanted, but they did it all in the second half.
Wow. And then. Temperature and weather-wise, I mean, I'm taking it was pretty perfect.
It was great. It was great. You can always tell when it's a good marathon weather temperature when the spectators are a little uncomfortable because it's a little cold for them. And that's exactly what it was. It was chilly to be standing there, but it was perfect to be running.
All right, and now getting to a little bit of a different subject, high school running.
Yeah.
I know your team's busy in the season now. How's that been going so far?
Very good, very good. I think we have a real solid team this year. And I think we're going to make some noise at the state meet, even though we haven't been one of the ranked teams, but that's okay. We don't mind that. I think the one thing that's different for us is we're in the same conference as Grosse Pointe South, who's ranked #1 in the country right now in some polls. So it's easy for us to not look as good as we are. But we're running very well. We have Macomb County Championships coming up this weekend, and I expect to run very well there.
And what do you think of the course out there at Stony? It's out at Stony Creek, right?
It's at Stony Creek. It's actually it's out at the Bay Point Beach, not Eastwood. It's at Bay Point. I prefer the old course out at Eastwood, but there's no prettier place in the middle of October than Stony Creek Metro Park. I mean, the changing of colors, and you got the lake in the background, and it's just both courses have that. So it's my complaints is just because I'm getting old and cranky, and I like to complain.
And then I know you have, what is it, about another week before, or is it a week or 2 weeks before regionals after conference?
Yeah, we have county this coming weekend, the 13th. Then the 20th is our conference. And then the regionals are the 26th. Actually, ours are on a Friday this year. But that weekend, 26th, 27th are regionals. And then the first Saturday in November is the state meet.
Right. And I guess one last question for you. Now you got your daughter running for you this year, so how's that been going?
She's kept me in the game. Honestly, I probably would have retired from high school coaching and spent time with just the elites. This is my 31st year, and it was very important to her that I coach her. And to be honest with you, there's plenty of 14-year-olds that no longer want to be around mom and dad, and the fact that she still wants me to be by her side is something I'm going to cherish and take with me all the way. So I'm definitely in it for 4 more years. All
right. Well, congratulations on that. Having your daughter running now, and I know she's doing well this season.
Yeah,
so,
she's working hard.
Yeah. So, we'll look forward to seeing how you guys do in county conference, regionals, and then the state finals. So,
thank you very much,
John.
John.
Thanks, Kevin.